Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of the Fishing Teacher. Much appreciated you guys checking today's video out. Today we're going to be talking about how to fish a boat dock. So I'm going to show you guys the boat dock. I'm going to show you how to break it down, show you the key areas around the dock, and I think it's going to add up some good fish for you guys. So here we go. Hey guys, so here's a typical boat dock right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the whole dock and I'm going to show you all how I fish them and what the key areas on. Now, first of all, one of the things about boat docks, a lot of it has to do with your water visibility and the water depth that you have. So obviously the dirtier the water, like it's, fairly stained here, the shallower the fish are going to be around the docks, and the clearer the water, the deeper the fish are going to be around the docks, and they suspend, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So first of all, let's talk about the shallow end. The shallow area behind, like underneath the walkway and on the inside parts, these are my favorite parts to fish because usually they're in better water depth. It's a little bit shallower. They've got the bank to relate to. They've got more shade. They've got the overhang of the walkway there. And it's just a really good area. So I like to just pitch and flip jigs back in behind here. You can't really cast much because most of the time they got cable. So you sort of have to like throw wacky wort rigs and shaky heads and stuff like that on the inside part of it. Once in a while, you might be able to run a spinnerbait or something along the bank, but this is a real key area here. Also, make sure that you keep an eye out for any brush, because a lot of times on these docks, they plant brush to catch crappie on. So a lot of times the brush is like in the slips, we'll get it to, but it can be really anywhere. Now, shade is a big key on docks. Shade is going to be created different times of the day from the different sun angles. The bass always usually prefer shady spots, so make sure that you key on shade. Now, you can see here the little openings underneath the floats. These are other key areas here. I like to pitch and flip jigs and stuff in the little cracks of the runways there. Sometimes they get under that. Sometimes you can take and you can run a bait parallel on the outside edge, and those fish will suspend right underneath the styrofoam floats. So that's another good area. But as you're trolling around a dock like we're doing here, watch your electronics for any brush, because there's a lot of brush usually planted off them. Sometimes you can throw like a plastic worm in the deeper brush. Here's the slip we come into. Now, slips can be good too if they're not in too deep of water, or if they're in deep water, you can catch them on spoons and that type of stuff. But in slips, I always try to pitch all the way to the far end of it, bring it out. And again, it depends on the water depth. Now, a lot of docks, you can see here, there's some sort of like some runways that come into it, or some poles. A lot of times those poles are connected to the bottom, and they're key areas with it too. The corners of the docks, like right here, are always good areas, because even if it didn't matter what the depth of the dock is, if it's shallow, the fish relate to the corners. If it's deeper, they'll suspend underneath them. And again, the sides can be really good as well here too. Guys, that's sort of a rundown of a typical dock. Now, the ones that we covered right here, this is what's called a floating dock. These docks right here, they're floating but see, they got the plastic floats under them. Now, some docks, like if you guys are like from Alabama or North Carolina, your docks are called pier docks. They're actually piers that have been hammered into the water, and they set up a little bit different. They still use the same parts of the dock, but they use the piers more than just like any floating dock that we have here. So every dock is different how it's set up. They're all unique to themselves, but they're really good bass structures. So give them a try. See it.